Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly. And I'm Lori.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode number 8, A Perfect Storm Out. This is a good name for this one.
That is a good name.
We start out with all the ladies are getting ready to kind of go over to Bozma's house because she's having what she's calling the Sisterhood Serenity Soirée.
Sisterhood Sorority Soirée.
Yeah. No, that's not it. Hey, listen, Dorit wears a lot of extensions.
Yeah.
I noticed that when she was, I don't care. She has great extensions. Wish I could afford extensions like that. But
Yeah, me too.
I'm just saying, it's just something I noticed when she was getting ready. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Did you see her hairdresser's hair? Her hairdresser, Chris, did you see his hair? I need to know if his hair is real or if that's a wig. He has the nicest hair, and I love the color. Like, that's the color I would want my hair. Yeah. I need to know if that's a wig or if it's real hair. So if any of our
what does it
listeners-
matter? Like, if
it doesn't matter.
Like,
It
just
doesn't.
bring that color to your hair salon. Show them
Yeah.
that picture if you want that color, right? If it's real or a wig.
Yeah, who cares?
So the Sisterhood Serenity Soirée, I feel like they should have reached out to Margaret Josephs and got some of her soiree beverage.
They should have.
Right? A little cross promotion.
Yes.
There you go.
Bravo. Wake up. Sleeping at the wheel.
Sleeping.
Always got to bring it back to Jersey, even when we're in
Always.
Beverly Hills.
At least it wasn't me this time.
So Bo says sometime it was also inspired by Sutton's little friendship rap too. So, there was that. And she says that sometimes in the boardroom, there's some good ideas, but it's about the execution. So she thought the friendship thing that Sutton was trying to get at was a good idea, but the execution was not so great with the wrapping their hands together in the ribbon ceremony. So she
felt like as a manager, she could bring them all, right, together?
Yeah, I think that's the case. So Boz is telling Dorit that Kyle's text messages are more than you think they are. And while Dorit's getting her extensions put in, and she says that she just spoke to Erika this morning, and Erika said there was not anything to worry about. So, it's two different perspectives on the same situation, but Erika's friends with Kyle and Erika's friends with Dorit. So she's going to have a different take than Boz, who's just meeting these ladies.
Erika's probably thinking like, all right, this can't possibly really be a storyline. Like, it's fine. Like, relax. It's a text message.
Everybody needs to like chill the fuck out and just
because it is odd that like, is this really what we're going to watch all season? What episode are we on?
8. And we're still talking about the text message.
Like, I don't know. I feel like
so how about this? So how about Dorit and Kyle are still really good friends, but decided before the season that, hey, look, we're going to take this kind of little thing and run with it, because if we make this our gig, then no one's going to be like really paying attention to what Mo's doing or PK's doing or how fucked up our marriages are.
I totally agree with you.
There you go. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Especially knowing that they're in a good place now. Like, I'm watching them fight with each other, and I'm trying to see, like, if one of them cracks a smile. I'm really paying very close attention, because I think that you could be 100% right. I think that this could all be fabricated. They came up with it between the two of them prior to the season starting.
I'm just a big conspiracy theorist, so
I has crossed my mind, though.
I will say that I've heard that conspiracy theory out there before, and I don't buy it.
All right.
But
You're not surprised. No, I'm like,
I don't.
We normally take a negative spin. That's for sure. More negative spin.
No, but listen, I'm always the one who's rooting for good instead of evil.
Exactly.
I mean, you think that all the breakups are a first storyline, and I'm going to say this. I don't think they're that bright, to be quite honest with you. I don't think
I
they're
do,
cunning.
because I think it's on the show long enough where Kyle's like, let's why not? I think I have this written down in my notes when it comes up, but I think that Kyle of course, she's grown up in LA or in Beverly Hills, so her sense of reality is warped anyway. But I think she's been on this show so long that I don't think she has any idea, any sense of reality.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I think she's a great mom. I think she was a great wife. I don't mean in that respect. She's got 4 beautiful daughters who are very healthy and, normal. She does have normal girls. Like, that's a testament to her.
No, she absolutely does.
That, I think she would do something for the show, but whatever. I always think that.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Then we see Kyle is FaceTiming Kathy in Italy. And she couldn't FaceTime her on Kathy's phone because she lost it. So she had to FaceTime her on Rick's phone. Did you pick that up?
Yes. He's like, of course she can't find her phone.
I wanted to bring this up too, because when she's talking to Kathy, she says, talking about sending memes on Instagram. But that's not what it was about. It was sending text messages, not on Instagram.
Kathy Hilton doesn't know Instagram from a text message. Kathy Hilton is not like, no, she's a boomer.
That I agree with that.
Okay. Kathy Hilton is a boomer and she has no idea like what the difference is.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I will say something that did come up now that you just mentioned that is people all over the internet were saying that when Kyle showed the text message the first time, it was a screenshot because you could see the picture roll underneath. So they were all over that online. Which, whatever. I mean, if she was gonna hide something, she wouldn't have done such a bad job of it.
I don't think people realize sometimes.
Well, I don't think, like I said, I said this from the beginning. I don't think that she thought that text message was bad. And it was at the same day that she was texting Dorit, right after it was announced that they were separated. And she's not going to send him a funny joke.
So this came up on 2Ts today. Teddy was like, I don't think everybody knows this, but Kyle sent a text to Dorit that day too. And Tamara was like, what? Like that, that changes everything. I don't think that changes anything. She texts PK, she texts Dorit.
Right. She texts him, right. Separately. She did text him separately.
They made it like that was like some big revelation. I'm
breaking news.
Is it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it is.
I think that the issue is not that particular text because, like Erika said, you could read that either way. I think the issue is what was texted after that. Because that was
she's not sharing.
It was what was texted after that, what happened after that. Because I can see you finding out, you sending that text, it just came up, you get it out there. But I think it's the problem that people have is that if it went on past that, past the point of you knowing that they're separated, then that becomes the issue.
Well, we'll never know now, will we?
No, we won't.
Not unless PK decides to release the text.
Right.
I don't see that happening.
When I wanted to bring this up, when she was talking to Kathy on the phone, she was making some kind of something, and she pulled out some cinnamon, and it was like a jar of McCormick cinnamon. Now, let me tell you something. As someone who loves food, if I had money, I would not be buying McCormick spices. I would be buying like really
organic
good
ones.
Cinnamon, like really high-end spices. I was just like, girl, you got all this money and using like shitty McCormick spices. I just had to bring it up.
So funny you noticed that. I never noticed that.
Yeah,
I guess McCormick is not going to want to sponsor us now.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Why? But I'm in that tax bracket.
I'm kidding.
I'm in McCormick tax bracket, baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, girl, you could
You're in organic spices.
You could afford some really nice, good spices. Get in the correct spice tax bracket.
She's probably in the Erewhon tax bracket.
I got it. Just something I picked up. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, then Kyle tells Kathy that all of a sudden Dorit thinks it's weird that Kyle and PK are like brother and sister, but that wasn't it at all.
No, that wasn't it. No. So Bose's event planner shows up to her house and she lets us know that she's having a chef who has prepared a 14-course meal.
Chef Daryl was
Yes.
quite fine.
Yes.
And he looked at Garcelle with such stars in his eyes. He was digging her so hard. It was so cute. I was like,
I
Garcelle,
agree.
Garcelle, you must jump on that, because he was just like the hearts were popping out of his eyes. It was so cute.
That was cute when he was like, "You're all beautiful." And she was like, "Yeah, but who's the most beautiful?"
I know.
And with her little shoulders shrug and her friend.
Yeah, he was quite fine.
Yeah. No, I just want
Yeah.
to bring something up real quick. I only thought about it afterwards when I started seeing some social media posts, and actually I saw, do you say Boz? I don't know how you say her name.
It's
Right, 'cause it's Bozma.
Yeah, Bose.
She was on like with Charlemagne the God. She was on the
Breakfast
radio.
Club.
Yeah, on the breakfast. And they were pointing out how like everyone that she had there was all black staff, like the masseuse, the party planner.
I didn't even realize that.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
It just never even occurred to me. But I guess if you're a person of color, then that's something that you notice. But I just thought it was interesting that I personally just didn't even take notice of.
Yeah, no, me neither. But again, Chef Daryl was quite fine.
Yes, you are.
So we could bring him back anytime, people.
Yeah.
Well, how about all the manly hands guy that Garcelle knew all of them?
That was so funny. She was like, "Oh, how are you? It's so good to see you."
And I don't know if you noticed this, but Boz said hello, and she said it just like Kelly does.
How does Kelly say hello?
Yeah.
Sometimes Kelly says, I don't even know if I can do it right. She says, hello.
Oh, I do say hello a lot. Hello.
And Boz said it the same way. I was like, cute. Talk
I
like
didn't
my friend
notice
Kelly.
that. I
Yeah.
gotta go back and watch that.
My goodness. So she has robes and slippers for everybody. And Jennifer Tilly puts her robe on and she's like, I love when it has my name on it. Like Jennifer.
She's perfect for this. Perfect for her spot on the show. Like just, you know,
she really is.
Like quick look. And she does say Mims.
Yes.
Mems or Mims?
She said
Mems.
Mems. Yeah, it's so funny.
So funny.
So Kyle shows up and she's wearing this long dress with this plunging neckline.
Yeah, where is she going?
I
didn't say I didn't like it.
It's not a Serenity spa dress. It's
not like a spa day at home. It's not that kind of dress. It's not that kind of outfit. Like,
yeah,
it's like comfy clothes. Like, where are you going?
But the thing is, they took off all the clothes and wore the robe anyway.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, I thought, like, you know, like, remember when Kathy Wakili did like her goddess night? I felt like Kyle looked like that kind of like a goddess dress. And that could be like for a Serenity day, you know?
Thought her dress was beautiful, but it just hit me a little odd. I wouldn't have said anything except for the fact that Dorit said something.
Yeah, Dorit did say something.
She was throwing the shade.
Is that
She
are
was
those
definitely
is
throwing
that
the
your
shade.
comfy? Are these your comfy clothes?
I mean, listen, a dress is comfy unless it's, you know, tight fitting, but that one wasn't. That was a
No.
nice, comfortable, flowy dress. I wouldn't have had a problem if Kyle decided to fly in a plane in that dress because it was so comfortable.
Well, that is a good plane flying dress.
It's a good plane flying dress. It's comfortable.
Yes.
And I'm not here to defend Kyle, but
No, you're
got her
not
on this one.
No, the ladies go outside and they are greeted by the manly hand men. And Garcelle is there relaxing, laying down, getting her feet massaged.
She gets so comfortable.
And then all of a sudden, Dorit comes over.
She's like right in her ear. I'm so sorry. I
Sorry.
don't mean to bother you.
Exactly. And Garcelle is like, oh, you could see the look on her face.
Yeah.
So Dorit's like, you know, the other night at the Viper Room, you know, when you said to me, like, how are you doing? I just want you to understand that, like, my reaction wasn't so much to you about what you were saying. It was more of the situation and, you know, what was going on. And
Which is totally believable.
Right. And I know that you and I haven't always seen eye to eye. And, you know, you don't think that I own my stuff. And I just want you to know that, you know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have reacted that way. And Garcelle accepted the apology and she said she appreciated it. And I think that she really did. She did appreciate it.
It did seem like she did. Now, see, on the after show, she was saying that Dorit at the Viper Room was saying how, like, PK was, like, volatile and blah, blah, blah. And in the midst, right before her and Kyle started going at it, Garcelle had said, you know, like, how? Like, wanting Dorit to get into it a little
expand
more.
on it.
Right. And then her and Kyle blew up. And so then that's why, even though it seemed like Garcelle's was ill-timed, she was trying to go back to that question that she was trying to ask Dorit. So that's, you know, that made a little more sense to me when she explained it.
Yeah, that does make more sense. But I do like that Dorit was kind of owning her part in other situations that, you know. So then we see Boz and Kyle are talking. And Boz asked Kyle about the text between her and PK. And that she said she heard from Garcelle that the text was read. And she wants to know why it wasn't read to Dorit. And can you tell me what it says? And you could see Kyle's getting annoyed. And
yeah, she gave her that bitchy sunglasses look.
Yeah. So she's like, you know, I'll tell you. And then Sutton walks over and interrupts and tells her, Kyle, it was more than that. First of all, you weren't in the conversation, Sutton.
Yeah.
Why are you sauntering over there and inserting yourself?
She needed some screen time.
Seriously, like, are you trying to help Kyle? Or are you trying to hurt Kyle?
I think she just wanted to be on camera.
I just thought that was so shady. Boz asked Kyle to read the text to her. Kyle says, why do you think I owe that to everyone? Sutton says, well, you're the one that brought it up. And Erika hears them talking, and then she's like, no, we're not going to do that. Like, you need a search warrant to get someone's text. I was like, oh, go Erika.
Yeah, but honestly, at this point, just show her the fucking text.
Well, especially
like,
when you
showing
brought
her
it
the
out
text
to other
is
people.
Making the text a bigger deal than it has to be.
Right. And the fact that you showed it to everybody but her, I mean, come on. And what the whole problem is, no matter what, is that the punishment's not fitting the crime. The math is not mathing. She protests too much. Her reaction, it does not match the situation.
No, if you don't think your text message is bad, show your text message to the person who thinks it's bad. Let them read it, let them see it, and have a discussion. And I think you're right. I think what you said last week is right. I think she meant, well, I think that they covered this in the episode. Like, she meant, like, I'm not, you know, production's not going to know. Nobody on the show is going to know.
Right.
I would never bring up on camera what you and I have discussed.
Right.
I think you're right. That's what it meant. If that's what it meant, just say it, show it, and say it.
Well, she did, didn't she? She did. She
eventually,
said,
but not at this point.
She did. Right.
Well,
right,
she did. I mean, at this point, she, you know, she's like, I just need to step away for a bit. And Sutton says, I don't understand this. And Erika's like, of course you do. And then Erika goes to talk to Kyle, you know, because Kyle's crying. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. Now, again, I do think that she's under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress with her situation because Mo just recently moved out also, right? They had been separated, but he was still living there. So now she's feeling the weight of being alone in this big house. And so she's got a lot going on in her life too. And, you know, this is supposed to be a Serenity Spa day. And now the text messages are coming and everyone's coming for her. And, you know, she's feeling a way about it. And I don't blame her, to be honest with you.
However, Kyle has been in her fair share of groups of people questioning other people. So I think you can't say, how old are we acting like this? Well, you've been doing this for 15 years to other people. So
I think that's part of the problem. It's not just looking at it from right now. It's looking at it from her behavior in the past, what she expects and demands from other people, and then not. And I think that's why later in the episode when Sutton is like, well, I'm not going to bow down to Kyle. Like, she just laughed when, if one of us did that, she would be being like, well, you know, what are you doing? We need to hash this out. We need to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. But I think the bottom line of the whole text thing is that Dorit shouldn't have to ask Kyle not to text PK. That is something that she should have done on her own. I think that she didn't do it because I think it's her tie to Mo. So I think that she didn't do it because it would be a further separation from her with Mo. I think that it was just this little tie that she didn't want to let go of. And I don't think that it was something like insinuous or inappropriate or anything like that. But I think that in any other situation, she would have possibly been smart enough to say, you know what, this is probably not a good thing. But I think that because she was in the place that she was in her own head, that she didn't want to let it go. For her.
It does make sense because of how close PK and Mo are. They're
You know
spending
what I'm
time
saying?
together.
It's just that little tie,
when you
string.
break up with somebody, it goes back to like middle school. Like you want to stay in
lose
touch
their
with people who know
friends.
them, so you could kind of keep tabs, basically.
Right. And because that's been part of your life, and it's another thing that you're losing.
Yes.
Right. So then Dorit is like, I don't understand why they're over there talking about the text messages without me. Like, why is this conversation going on without me? So Kyle comes over and she's like, I'm going to read this text. I did nothing wrong. And then I'm leaving. I want to go home. They tell her to sit down. Kyle's like, I don't want to sit down. I can't do this anymore. I'm not in a good place in my life. I want to say one thing. I'm leaving. And then she starts crying. I love you. I love PK. I love your kids. I know that you know, what you're doing is making me feel like I did something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to read this text once and that's it. So she reads the text and Kyle's like, I was not talking about sharing with you. That's when she clarifies. I was talking about production. That's all I fucking said. And now I'm done. I'm not going to be made feel like I did something wrong. And then she storms out with her robe and her slippers on. I hope she grabbed her dress. And then Dorit and Erika go outside after her. And I was glad that Dorit went after her too, to be quite honest with you. And, Dorit's like, let me have a minute with Kyle. And she did. Like she, her and Kyle walked down the street a little bit and, they talked and Dorit said, listen, I protected PK for a long time. And, he's not the person. He's not that person. Like he can be a mean person. And I protected him. And Kyle's like, well, I've never seen him like that. And she's like,
that doesn't mean it's not true, though.
Right. She's like, you don't understand. And Kyle said, well, they both had their moments. And Dorit said, when you say that I won't say anything, Kyle said, PK doesn't share anything about your relationship. Dorit said, yes, he does. Because I know PK. And, he tells people things. And Dorit doesn't think Kyle's being honest to herself. Like not that she's lying to Dorit. She thinks she's lying to herself. And it kind of goes back to maybe what you're saying, Lori, that she thinks that, like this is like she's holding on to this because of it's going to be a further separation from her and Mo. Like, I don't think she's really seeing it for what it is. Meaning that she's lying to herself about what's happening. Like she's not. Again, I don't think Dorit sees it as her being malicious towards her, but she's not understanding Dorit's side of it because she doesn't see it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Now, when they were talking outside, anybody else notice this? Like, I don't know what Kyle's got going on. I don't know if she had a lot of people say she has veneers. It's the lip filler. She was mumbling and wiping her mouth like she was drooling. She was mumbling like she was not articulating her words. I was just like, what do you got marbles in your mouth?
I just thought it was because she was so upset. It's hard, like when you're so upset and you're crying and it's hard to catch your breath and it's hard to
Yeah, she was crying. That's what I thought it was too, is because she was crying and she was upset.
I do think she got another nose job though.
Really?
Listen, no judgment. She looks fantastic. Kyle looks the best she ever has. So, but yeah, I was looking at her. I'm like, maybe she had her nose done again. But you know what? That can also be contouring. Like people are amazing with makeup. So maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. But I don't
And
know.
who cares if she did?
She was just
Have
talking
at it.
weird. She was talking weird. I don't know what it was. And I just got distracted by her lips. I was just like, I don't know. Sorry.
You notice so much.
I'm that kind of girl.
I know you are. I like it.
So then Kyle leaves and Dorit goes back in. She talked to the other ladies. Erika said, I think she feels misunderstood. And then Bose jumps in and said, well, I see a conflict and I try and resolve it. That's what I do.
Real quick before that, though,
Uh-huh.
Kyle said when Dorit was saying things about PK and she's like, well, I never saw that side of him. Kyle says, could Dorit be painting a picture of PK, acting like he's a monster? That's not fair to do to Dorit.
No, because she doesn't live with him.
Exactly.
Right. She don't
so
know.
Are you insinuating that Dorit's lying? Like that's not right.
No, I agree. That's not right.
Was it in Kyle's confessional where she says she thinks like Dorit orchestrated it all to deflect from not being a good friend to Kyle in the first place?
I didn't even hear her say that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that was in her confessional.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I was like,
yeah.
Well, what is it that Kyle's done to not be a good friend to you?
I know. I thought that was strange.
What is it that Dorit has
done? Yeah.
To not be a good friend to you, Kyle? I was just like, what?
I thought that was strange. I did hear her say that. It was
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. So what else? Jennifer, another Jennifer Tilly. She says it's not a success unless someone leaves crying.
There you go.
Bravo, ladies.
Yeah.
So then we see Kyle's at her house with her family. They're getting ready to celebrate Portia's birthday, her 16th birthday. And the girls are there. And then Mo shows up. We find out that Mo is taking Portia to Europe in a couple weeks, which that sounds fabulous, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Sounds fabulous getting a Porsche for your 16th birthday.
Yeah. My kids happened to be in the room at the time I was watching this. They were like, who got that car?
Yes.
Not you.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Not you.
I got like the old used Chevy Nova. It was like a carbon monoxide leak. That's what I got for the first car.
There you go.
Yeah. It's great.
So then we see Garcelle's beach house. She's there and Sutton shows up with her dog, Junebug, and Garcelle's dog, Kobe, is there. Okay, just bring the dogs in.
And yeah, like dog people, if you're dog people.
Yeah. The ladies are talking about Kyle and storming out, and Sutton doesn't appreciate it. But Sutton storms out too. I mean, she's done it many times for many reasons.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Sutton on this one, though. I feel like Kyle beat feet out of there before she had to really face any heat. But I'm sure you're right. I'm sure Sutton has done it as well.
Well, and that's when Sutton says, I, Sutton Strack, am not going to bow down to the altar of Kyle Richards, which, again, was a little dramatic. Like, do we have to be so dramatic?
Right.
Well, it is a dramatic show.
I mean, that's true. That's true. So then Erika, go ahead. Do you have something else?
Yeah, I like how Garcelle, like, fucked up her chandelier as she was doing it. I was like, dude, don't cut that.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, no, they're all going to fall.
Don't cut it because it's all...
There's probably a knot at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Don't cut it. Sorry.
That was a chandelier. I was trying to figure out what the hell that thing was.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, no, don't cut it.
What? The shell thing was a chandelier?
Yes.
Yeah, and it probably had like a knot on the bottom of it, so the shells stopped.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
when she cut it, there's no knot at the end.
It was hanging down too long. Yeah, it was hanging down too long. So the real way to fix it is to fix it from the top.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't even realize that. I just like, what is that thing? I didn't even realize it was a chandelier.
I noticed really weird shit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why we keep you around, Lori.
That's
right.
So then Erika and Dorit meet up and they're going to get facials because they didn't get to relax at Boz's Serenity Day.
Don't you feel like they should have included Boz in this?
No, because Dorit and Boz have already had their little thing, and Erika and Dorit, I don't think so. And I think, honestly,
maybe Dorit set it up because she wanted to talk to Erika.
Right. I just felt like because Boz's day got so messed up because of Kyle.
I don't think at this stage of the game that Boz personality and Erika's personality would go well in this situation with Dorit, because Dorit is already bonded so well with Bozma, and Erika is so alpha. I just don't. I honestly, I just think it would have not.
And she's trying to play the middle. She's
It
trying
was
to
a good call.
She's trying to be smart.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let you know that they had a 60-minute facial. So that's $275. So looked it up. But if you got 180-minute all-inclusive treatment,
That sounds
$725.
How much? $725?
Mm-hmm. For the Cadillac.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just saw the thing. I said, "Oh, let me see how much this is."
Yeah.
Nice. I need a facial.
Yes.
So Dorit tells Erika that she didn't like that she didn't stick up for her. She felt like Erika should have stuck up for her.
I thought she was talking about Bose. I thought she said Bose didn't stick up for her, and I was thinking,
No.
that's what Bose has done all season to stick up for you.
No, it was Erika. Erika
Okay,
didn't.
that makes more sense.
Yes.
Thank you.
Dorit thinks that Kyle's interpretation of the text is not as simple as she says. And Erika once again says, I understand both sides. I need to see more proof. And this is, I was married to a lawyer wife. Like, that's how you are.
Yeah.
And I wasn't married to a lawyer, but I would want to see more proof too.
Yeah.
That's Erika said she's not going to assume the worst because she knows what that's like. We know she's been through this, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Dorit thinks that she is scared of Kyle.
That's a bold statement right there.
I don't think Erika is not afraid of anyone. Let's get that straight.
I don't think she's afraid of anyone. I think that Erika is a very smart person, and she knows that if she stays on Kyle's good side strategically, she has a good place on the show.
Absolutely.
Just like people join the show and want to be friends with Teresa Giudice. Like, this is strategic, but I do not think Erika is afraid of Kyle. And I do think that if Erika thought Kyle was wrong in a certain situation, she would say it. Just like she said, I wouldn't like you texting my ex-husband.
Right.
She told Kyle that. So,
exactly.
But I do think she stays close with Kyle strategically. But that's okay.
Hey, listen, she's in a position where there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She needs that fucking job.
She needs to hold that diamond.
She's very smart for doing it.
Absolutely.
Just like I think as nice as Boz is, I think she's smart like a fox.
Yep.
Making friends with Dorit.
Yeah.
I think there's some calculation there, and it's not always necessarily a bad thing. It's just a smart.
I agree.
I do think, though, that when Erika was going through that really tough time with Tom, Kyle was always there for her.
Sure. Yeah, she was.
When Dorit says to her, I think you're afraid of Kyle, that's when Erika says, maybe this is time that I bow out of the middle of this. And I think that it's true. I think it is. I think it is time that she bows out. She doesn't want to be in the middle anymore. And, then Dorit says to her, if you knew it was true, are you going to be okay with that? And Erika kind of pauses and she's like, no. So
Knew what
the text messages that it was more than what she said it was. Like, if it was more than that.
Right. Like them talking about Dorit.
If there was something nefarious going on.
Because Dorit said, I know PK and Kyle talked about me because PK would come home and tell me that they talked about me.
Right.
He told her things that he is unhappy about. She's told him things she's unhappy about. Like, I know these things.
Right.
So Dorit is looking at it from a different perspective than anybody else, as she should. If she could prove, and Erika's saying, I need more proof.
Right.
So if she can prove it to Erika, Dorit's like, well, are you going to be okay if I prove this to you, basically, right?
Right. Which was a valid question,
Sure.
And Erika's like, no, I wouldn't be okay with it. But, we don't know anything yet. So if Dorit has the proof and she can bring it to the ladies.
But here's the thing. Dorit's only upset that Kyle's texting PK about her. Let's say it's true. Let's say Kyle's texting PK about her. She's only upset.
I think it is. I think that's probably true.
Right. But she's only upset because the dynamics have changed, because now she and PK are separated. Prior to this, she
It
would
was not a
not have been
problem.
upset.
No, it was. She already said
Because
she
it was
wasn't
a
upset.
friend confiding in a friend.
Right.
Now it's territorial though, and to Kyle, she's like, "But you're my friend, so you can't do that with him anymore." So it's
Right.
kind of like Dorit changed the rules of the game, but didn't tell Kyle.
But the point is that, like I said before, that's something that Kyle should have just known on her own.
But
sure. Like I said, I think in defense of her, which I'm not really a big fan, but in defense of her, I think that there's reasons why she didn't sever that when she probably should have, and maybe possibly even would have if her situation weren't what it was.
I totally agree with you.
So,
but like I said, I think that the time span of this whole thing happening isn't that long. And as soon as she found out, she said,
stopped.
I will never do it. I'm sorry. I will never do it again.
Right.
As soon as she became aware of it, that's it. We're done.
I think maybe the problem is that it wasn't like Kyle said, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. I don't need to talk any smack with Kyle about you, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's the point of her trying to be like, oh, it's just memes, instead of just owning the fact that, like, all right, I won't talk shit about you anymore with him.
The other problem is that we're on episode 8 and we're still talking about a fucking text message.
Exactly. It's like back to
that
Lucy,
is the real problem.
Lucy, Apple, Juicy. The stupid puppy gate. Like, that's all we talked about.
I mean, for the richest city in the country,
yeah,
can you come up with something better than a text message?
Than a stupid fucking text message.
That's the real problem.
That's the real problem. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens next week.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for Beverly Hills, do you?
No, I don't have nothing.
Okay.
No.
Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please follow us. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.